But I mean, I hope we have 200, 300 of these units in the field by a year from now. And we've already got 20, and that's exceeded our goals so far. So I think that's a very doable thing.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Awesoming's podcast, where we highlight people pursuing their definition of, you guessed it, awesome. So buckle up and get ready for some more success story adventures and failures from Kentucky's tech and entrepreneur community. Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning back into this episode of the Awesoming Podcast. I'm sitting down with another one of our 5 Across participants, founder out of not Lexington nor Louisville, but Liberty, Kentucky. So always good to hear that we have entrepreneurs all across the state. I'm with Dakota Hoskins, who is the founder and owner of Safari Car Wash Solutions. Safari Car Wash Solutions, there we go. And Dakota, again, was a participant in our August 5 Across in the year 2022. So had a great event, probably one of the stronger lineups we've ever had at one of these pitch competitions, and want to get some of the contestants out on the podcast and let others across the state hear what's going on and hear about some of the startups that we're running into. So Dakota, real quickly, my friend, thanks for joining us. Why don't you give a little background, share some of your vitals of who you are, where you're from, what's some of your background, and maybe how you got to where you are today.
Awesome. Thanks, Garrett. It's really good to be here today. Thank you guys for having me. And yeah, so my name's Dakota, and I'm 23 years old. And really what led me to where I am today is my electrical background. And actually, that started all the way back in high school at the vocational school. So, a lot of people think, well, it's all the post-secondary education. But I really want to stress how good the tech school options can be for today's generation. And I did later go on to Camelsville University and did a business degree there. But really for this program, my electrical background has been just instrumental in the development of our barcode scanner.
So Dakota, one of the things I know that you talked about is you have a pretty cool addition into how you increase customer satisfaction within the whole car wash solution. A lot of people, they've been to a car wash, I would imagine, and you're doing something that's very innovative that I had never heard of before. And I want you to talk about some of the tech, some of the things that you built. So can you talk about the physical product that you've assembled, you put together, and how I remember you showed a picture during your pitch, how you, again, built this device and how you actually insert it into a car wash control unit, if that's the correct terminology. So again, I'm saying a lot. Why don't you talk about your electrical background, how you built your product, and how it's actually going to service and better help car washes be more efficient. And again, just kind of dive into some of the details, because what you shared was awesome and is way over my head.
Thanks, Garrett. So just to give you a little background on the product itself and what it actually is, I think that's kind of a good starting point here. So there's an actual barcode scanner, and it's mounted on the front of a kiosk. And then all the high tech that happens behind the kiosk. And that's where I have a Raspberry Pi, and it has 2 hats on that Pi, which is like an expansion board in electronic terms. So, I knew I needed a barcode scanner, but how do you make that link to a database and activate the car wash? And there was a lot more to it than just a USB barcode scanner, so to speak. So I got right to work, and quickly I realized I needed a computer programmer because I had good strength on the hardware side of things, but I really struggled, with the X's and Y's and all that. That's really over my head. So I brought Victor on our team. And he's an expert in Flutter and Docker and all the coding languages that the Raspberry Pi uses. So pretty quickly, we were able to establish a database, and all of our units, they're like slaves. So if you order a scanner for your car wash, that's constantly pinging our main server. So we can tell which unit's offline, which unit's online, or, maybe a car wash had a power outage for 5 minutes. Well, we document that and know their unit was down 5 minutes. So, uptime was a big concern for this product. Because if you're at the car wash and want to wash your car, you don't want to hear that the barcode scanner is out of order. You can't use your membership or what have you.
I hadn't heard something like this. I think it seems like a great fit for a very ordinary service a lot of people consume or a lot of people use, which are car washes. So, where were you? How'd this idea come about, and what made you think, oh, hey, there's something here that we need to invest in?
So just a little background, and I should have covered this more in the beginning, but I've been in the car wash industry for around 7 years now. My dad has been a veteran car wash operator. And when I started helping him early on, I was like, this industry has failed to innovate. Everybody else has an app by now. They have this, they have that. And I quickly realized that we were really losing a lot of revenue. And then that snowballed into everybody else that's a car wash operator is losing lots of revenue. So last fall, me and my dad were in Vegas at the International Car Wash Show. And the latest hype in the industry is monthly memberships. So if your car wash doesn't have a monthly membership program, it's kind of like gym memberships, if we've got any gym owners listening. So the average person, they only wash their car 4 times a year. So if we can convert that customer to a member, we're getting about $220 more per year per customer. People say, oh, well, you're going to lose all this money. They're going to use it every day. Well, like the gym industry, car washing has very low variable cost. So, most of our costs are fixed. And, as a result, we can make much more money by that membership because of our such low variable cost. So back to Vegas, we're at the International Car Wash Show last fall in Vegas. And I looked at Dad and I said, I want to find programs that can market our membership programs. We've got the program in place. Let's blow it up. And I found a company called OpSpot, and they do text message marketing just for car washes. That's their focus. And I talked to Levi, and he said, what kind of kiosk do you have? Who's your barcode scanner? And I'm like, our kiosks are 30 years old. There's no barcode scanner in the equation here. So I was like, okay, well, we can't even market our membership. Well, then I got to talking about some other operators, how do they market? And quickly I realized there was no solution for car washes like ours that are the mom and pop type car wash to do marketing.
It's interesting that you've almost come full circle with what you said. You've been in an industry that hasn't innovated. I think you said 30 years, or it's been around for a while. And then you're talking with someone that is bringing what doesn't seem to be very innovative, text messaging, but the way they're packaging it and bring it to a new service seems like it makes so much sense. And I know you mentioned, I think it was OpSpot you said, and was there another partner that you found that you
Yeah, so
shared
we work with
previously?
multiple companies. Welcome Matt is another company we use a lot.
Okay, yeah, I remember during your pitch that you shared a couple partners that have helped you guys be pretty successful. One of the things I was curious about, I wanted to hear is when you discovered the need for barcodes and how they add value to making a car wash efficient, more efficient. What did you do right then and there to make that happen?
So I got home and, I knew I needed some Raspberry Pis and a few things, but how do you make a custom electronic enclosure or a custom, I can go off Amazon and order stuff, but I don't have the manufacturing ability to make those covers and cases. So that was actually the biggest challenge. And then that's kind of when I reached out to SOAR, and they actually led me to Awesome. So that's kind of cool, the networking that goes on between these entrepreneurship organizations. But so SOAR, they referred me to Billy Brown, and I actually knew him, but I didn't know he did 3D printing. So what we learned is that he could make the exact enclosure I needed 20 minutes from my house. So that was awesome. And now the other component we needed was like a metal bracket to mount the scanner. And I worked with a company out of Canada initially to get a prototype, but they were, I mean, it was eating up half my margin what it cost them to make it. So actually, I'm proud to say now we're 3D printing those locally right here in Kentucky for a fifth of the cost.
Right on. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Thanks for sharing, Dakota. Last question, and then I want to pivot over and hear about your experience from Five Across. So, what exactly is your company's business model? How do y'all go about making money, other than operating and working with car washes? Is it again this service fee, or do you sell those Raspberry Pis to car washes? What's Safari doing?
Well, and the good thing about our controller unit that controls the scanner, it's multi-purpose. So we can use this if a company has an app that they want to start the car wash, or it can do more than just scan barcodes. So I see that as a really good element we have here as far as the future and moving Safari solutions to the next level. And then back to the revenue, the service fee, we charge $30 a month per unit. And that's really where we make our money because we don't really have a lot of expense once we ship this unit out. Now, if our server was to crash and we have these thousands of units down, obviously then that service fee is going to help to remedy that as soon as possible. But that's really, my thought is if we can just get our costs back on the fixed fee and make a little bit, because we want to make this affordable for the wash operators. That's the whole point, so they don't go, buy a whole new kiosk.
That's cool. That's cool, Dakota. What this is off the cuff, just based on what you said. What does competition look like in this industry, or is there any for the very specific avenue that Safari is operating in with car washes?
Great question. And actually at the first trade show we were at in Las Vegas, and that was as a car wash operator. We thought, can't we just bolt something on our existing unit and use it? And after looking through every booth, and this was the International Car Wash Show, so everybody is there. And we quickly discovered there was no retrofit solution available. So, I mean, I'm honestly a little hesitant to even say that, obviously, with, competition and such. But there's really not a direct comparison to what we're doing here. And then just to kind of show you the value the industry's already showing in this, in this spring in May, I attended the trade show in Nashville. And here you saw a transition because I was there as an exhibitor instead of a car wash operator. And I actually had offers from multiple other technology companies to buy Safari Solutions out because they had tried to make something like this and had failed.
Yeah, I feel like you have a lot of cool stories from bounce around these trade shows and some of this experience. So, we'll stop here, and I want to hop over to Five Across because this is where we met, and you did a phenomenal job when you pitched recently. Wanted to hear about, hey, what was your experience? Was this your first time pitching, or is this have you had a couple of experiences pitching at pitch competitions? And if anything, what was one of your main takeaways?
Well, I had never pitched before. I've always been kind of a behind the scenes person. And so SOAR was my first pitch, and I actually had the opportunity and won that pitch. So, which was really cool, the networking that came from that. But I really enjoyed the Five Across pitch just to see, I thought every pitch would be exactly the same, but each format's a little different. And that was cool to meet, new networking opportunities and all that.
Well, cool. Dakota, last question before we bounce off of here. What's something after this past Five Across that Safari is excited about accomplishing over the next calendar year? So something that you're hoping to accomplish by fall of 2023.
Well, this latest pitch, we saw a lot of progress within Safari Solutions. So it was really cool to be able to see, the future. And the pitches help promote that because when you look at other companies, it gives you ideas, and that's cool. But I hope we have 200, 300 of these units in the field by a year from now. And we've already got 20, and that's exceeded our goals so far. So I think that's a very doable thing.
Well, Dakota, as we're wrapping up here, wanted to ask, where can people go? And I have a feeling this is going to be geared more towards car wash owners or people who work within that industry. Where where can people go if they want to learn more about your product solution and become a potential customer?
Our website is up and running, and they can reach that at safaricwsolutions.com. And we have any resource they may need there to reach out to us or get more information on our scanner units.
Dakota, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for the time, and keep crushing it.
Have a good one. Bye.
Well, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for checking out this episode of Awesome Inc. Podcast. And another quick thank you to Lee Rosevere and a few members from our community who provide the music that you hear in this show. Lastly, give us a follow on Instagram, Facebook, all that jazz. Or even better, come on down to our space. Come be a part of our community and get plugged in, and let's start something awesome together. You guys rock, and we'll see you next time.